Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Ordinary Freaks. These the Ordinary Freaks. I'm just a freak.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Ordinary Freaks. B and Eddie here, and this week's guest is the founder of the independent record label House of Renji and music recording artist. Please help us with welcoming Genesis Renji.
Yeah. Where you at?
Where you at? Yeah.
We're at Bummer.
Left room. All right, man. Well, let's get right into it. What inspired you to get into hip hop in the first place? Was that anything in the house that was brewing from your parents?
Hell no.
Was it where does that come from then?
Hell no. I grew up listening to jazz, jazz and Radio Disney. I will forever say that. Yeah. Nah, we were. I was born in Maryland, so I'm a military kid, Army Navy brat, and my mom moved here. When did we move here? 99, 2000. My mom's side of the family's here, but I was always at my cousin Pierre's house. So he was playing rap music, or my auntie Mallory was playing rap music a lot. So she would be playing Ludacris and Too Short and shit, but going over Pierre's house all the time. That's where I heard the things that I liked and started piquing my interest. So
which was what?
Eminem. Eminem was what really got me. Yeah, man, he was always playing 50, Dr. Dre. A bunch of other shit we weren't supposed to listen to. But, Eminem was what got me. I was like, okay, here's somebody that's weird like me, that's an outcast, and all right, I like this dude. Yeah. And I was a big word geek back then.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh, this motherfucker puts words together nice. So yeah, and I was on a slight emo kick. So this is back when he was skeletons in my closet. Bitch, I'ma kill you.
Yeah, he was on that
D12
crazy
and all
shit.
that.
Yeah.
I was at home writing in my notebook fuck my family.
It's funny that you say that shit.
I was going through some shit. Yeah, that's what got me on. Yeah,
that's dope.
So I was gonna ask you on musical influences. Would that be it, Eminem, or is there anything else as you grew up? Does the jazz ever kick in or influence you now?
I say the influences change by era for me. So as I'm growing as a person. So when I started, my influences were Eminem, of course. Eminem's why I started. Lupe is the person who made this a reality for me. This was more than just a dream or a hobby. Okay, there's somebody that looks like me that isn't the typical gangster rapper.
Right, he's not conforming to anybody else's.
That was my representation. So Lupe made rap a reality for me. And then Chamillionaire is one of my heavier, early influences, because that's who I was listening to. Somebody who with metaphors, with some bars, but still had catchy ass hooks and poppy beats. That's the shit I like. So those are my 3 earlier influences. High school, my influences were, because I only had 3 CDs when I lived with my dad. It was Flowbots, Graduation by Kanye, and The Cool by Lupe Fiasco, of course. But I was downloading MP3s and shit off the internet when I would go to the library. Yeah, when I go to the library, if I was or I'm at school during lunch break or whatever, trying to fill the MP3 player up. So my heaviest influences in high school were Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco, and Wayne, of course. Lil Wayne. Yeah, but this is also the time where Drake first started to pop. So going out of that, my influences shifted. Senior year of high school, I'm listening to Wale, J. Cole, and Drake. That's it. I'm on hot new hip hop every day in class. What the fuck new is out? Okay, Cole's here. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got some Wiz popping. Back when music was super fucking exciting for me. But then after that, college influence was really who was I listening to?
Kendrick.
Of course, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you hit it on the nose. Definitely. That's when Doc came around. I first heard Kendrick on the Monster freestyle. My boy Lex put me on there. I was like, oh, this nigga's nuts.
That one was crazy.
Yeah, so I heard the Monster freestyle, then Section 80. Then I went back and started digging for more shit. So yeah, it was Kendrick for sure. Then Drake had been narrating my life by then. So it's Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole still, Wale still. And now my influences, they change because my music has grown. How I listen to music has grown. So my influences now are, and it's going to be wild, but Jay-Z is consistent now. Drake is an internal influence. And then I really like Kevin Gates a lot. I love Kevin Gates. That's one of my favorites. But I'm really studying like Kevin Gates, Freddie Gibbs, and Jaden Smith. I just love the way that they create and layer voices. I just like doing that shit. So, yeah. I made that question a lot longer than I wanted to do. I was just like...
I actually wanted to touch on, like, you said, like, that was, like, high school years were probably, like, your most influential. Like, you want to feed off of that energy.
Oh, and Childish Gambino, of course. I mean, Gambino came in around the same era as Kendrick for me.
Yeah.
About that same time period. So I was listening to old Gambino, called the Sack shit. My girl Oshi put me on Childish super early. And she was like, oh, you fuck with him too? I'm like, yeah. She's like, listen to this. And I'm like, oh, we on here. Okay, nice.
But yeah, man, like, I think we all hold that little era of, like, I think it was like, like late 07 to like 2010 as like the epitome of like when shit changed and shit.
To me, that's the golden age of rap. The 2000s, I don't think there was ever a better period of like creativity. That's just to me personally, because that's the shit that I lived in.
Right.
That's what I witnessed. That's when we got like the most amount of quality music at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So the internet was like floodgates. And then at the same time, it was like a bunch of dope ass shit. Where now it's just like floodgates, and you gotta filter and sift through this shit, which isn't bad, but it wasn't as much work to find quality shit back then.
You used to go to that Piff and like the first first three things you're like
that Piff and like you said, hot new hip hop.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was on. That was damn near it. Like, this is before SoundCloud. So if you weren't on Dat Piff or Hot New Hip Hop, you were definitely lacking. That was the first thing I did. I knew what's the hot track for the day. Like, who's got that verse? Oh, word, y'all got the 4 flame emojis? I'm listening to it. This is back when Young Money was running shit too. Tiger got the stupid Rack City mega mix that's like 8 minutes long and shit. But I still listen because why not? So yeah, high school is crazy.
Maybe stepping a little bit away from music. When we first met earlier this week, you mentioned how you want to strive to just not only be a better musician with everything you do, but like a better human overall, right?
A lot.
So,
Is that a lot?
I was
damn, you ain't that bad, bro.
I needed the security interview.
But yeah, man, can you speak on that routine? Like, what does that look like? Like for like your overall like self development, like reading books, etc.
There are things I have to do on a day-to-day basis, and I talk to y'all about this, but there are things that I need to do daily, otherwise my day will go to shit. So listening to music is the first thing. I need like an hour of uninterrupted music every morning. My brain doesn't function until noon, so if I gotta be up before then or functioning before then, I need like uninterrupted music for an hour straight. That's one of them. I have to read every day. If I'm not reading, I feel like my brain is going to waste, like it's working in reverse. I gotta work out every day. If it's not the gym, it's gotta be some type of physical activity. Like I walked here, so that's gonna be my thing for the day because my back is still fucking killing me. But I walked here today. So music, reading, working out, and then I wanna learn something new every day outside of just reading. So I've been, I told y'all I've been working on foreign languages every day, Spanish, French and German are like my 3 focuses right now. So, yeah, that's what I do. And then, I don't know, man, I tell everybody I ain't shit, but I try to be the best person I can be day to day. Sometimes I'm a little selfish and that gets in the way of things, but I acknowledge my faults. I'll be the first person to admit when I'm wrong. I'll stand behind some shit, but until you prove me wrong, oh, damn, word? I was wrong, my bad. I'll be the first one. I was wrong, my bad. I apologize. If you can't live with that apology, fuck you.
Right, for sure.
I did my best. I'm not about to drive myself crazy to make you feel better.
Nah.
But yeah, so loving myself more. That's it.
You live and learn.
That's it.
Was there anything that inspired that change? Because I know for me, there's a certain point where I wasn't reading or, focusing on myself. It was just kind of going day by day.
I won't say it was a specific point for like my routines and shit, like reading and music and everything, because I've just been like that since I was a kid. Like, we were raised to love reading. Like, when I got in trouble, my mom used to take my books from me, like,
gotcha,
and throw me in a corner. Like, putting me in a corner will drive me crazy. Like, she's like, go stay in the corner. I'm like, kill me. Like, I'm like, you please whoop me? Like, can I go do some exercises? I'll do anything but stand in this fucking corner. But I think that the thing that changed for me specifically is the wanting to live better, but at the same time not wanting to drive myself crazy trying to do it. Because when I was younger, or even for a good chunk of my life, I always wanted to be accepted by people. Like, that was one of the reasons I started rapping, was because I wanted my older cousin to think I was cool. I didn't rap because I was like, oh, this is the shit, and I need to rap like everybody. I was like, I want to freestyle so this motherfucker likes me while we freestyling on the porch. And that just became something in itself. But as I got older, I'll even say recently, in the last, 2 years probably, I just got more into the I could give a fuck about what y'all think vibe. So, I mean, it's a process to where you start to really, for me, it's like knowing myself. I had to really come to terms with who I am as a person, accept who I am as a person, and really love that, like good, bad, ugly, all of that shit. But then also be willing to acknowledge that I want to be better. I know what I want to change, but I'm also not about to drive myself crazy trying to make other people happy. Because I tried it before, and I tried it recently, and it just wasn't worth it. So it's like, nah, I'm going to do what I do. Yeah. I'm going to be upfront about it. I'm going to be authentic with it. And if you can't live with it, I got 2 of these. That's it. That's all I can say.
Catch these.
That's it, man. Catch them. Hold them.
Taking it back to when you founded House of Renji.
Yeah.
What led to start that? You went from rapping to having your...
I wanted $1 million, a boatload of bitches and cars. No. So, damn, why did I start the house? Oh, yeah, so y'all know the story. I'm trying to think of a smart way to tell it. So I started rapping when I was 12 with my cousin, freestyling and shit. I used to draw a lot, actually. So drawing was my thing, for real. I was gonna be an artist. In high school, I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna draw grills and I'm gonna be a tattoo artist or a comic book artist, one of the two, boom. But in high school, I started to flirt with poetry a little bit too. So when I moved to Alabama and I was living with my dad, I won a poetry writing contest. And they either gave me a trophy that day or some money. I'm pretty sure it was money. And I was like, oh shit. I won and I got something today. I was like, oh, words pay faster than art. Oh, it's over, bitch. Like, so I started jumping in Battle of the Bands and whatever just to perform because I like performing. But moving back to Milwaukee, music had become like a part of my life now. High school, I graduated high school. I had a little group in high school, but that fell to pieces or whatever. So I'm still rapping, and I wanted to separate myself from everybody else on the scene. And at that time, this was during the era of hashtag team this and group this and this camp and this squad, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want to create something bigger than a squad or a team. And it's like, what's bigger than that? And it's like, a family is bigger than that. Okay, cool, but what kind of family? We just don't want to be a fam. And it's like, oh, well, a royal family is way harder than that. And I was like, a royal family is the hardest. Like House of Medici. I was like, okay, House of Renji, boom. We got that shit. But I started the house with my business partners, Jaya Oby. Like I knew Oby through my guy Lex. I met her actually like via Facebook because we were talking about polos and Jordans because I hated them. She's like, nah, people just don't know how to wear them. I'm like, whatever, sis, style me. She's like, I got you. So that's how it started. She became my stylist. And she ended up knowing, she already knew Jaya, but I met Jaya performing at this event called Look and Listen that Vato Vergara put together. And that was like the Milwaukee version of South by Southwest. Like, if you popping in the city now and you in my generation, you was probably at that show. If you wasn't at that show, you probably not popping right now. So like, that's what it was. So I met Jaya there, and she found me on Twitter. And she was like, "Oh, you did a great job tonight, by the way." And I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate it." And I saw her make a tweet later, like 5 minutes afterwards. She's like, "Man, I want a PR for somebody." And I was like, "I'm right here." And I gave her my number. She called me. We chopped it up, and then we just built the house from that. I didn't want to. I wanted to be signed to Gerald Walker at the time. You know, Gerald is a Chicago artist from the Mill, born in Chicago. And he had One Step at a Time music group, OSAD music group. But it was like 4 other people ahead of me, and I'm not patient at all, as y'all know. So I was like, yeah, I love you, big dog, but I think I'm going to do it like you did it. So I didn't want to wait, and we started the house. So shout out to Gerald, shout out to Oby, shout out to Jaya. Gang.
I want to take it to your performing. You said you love performing. Yeah. You recently performed at the Bucks halftime show. Can you describe what that experience felt like you? And just for people that haven't seen you in general, you know, what can they expect when they see you perform?
To the first question, what that felt like, I felt like Drake. That was some arena shit, boy. I felt like Drake. I was in my bag that night. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, on November 19th, 2018, Genesis Renji performed at the Pfizer Forum for the Milwaukee Bucks versus Denver Nuggets halftime game. Thank you to Clement Sausage, the Bucks organization, and Radio Milwaukee. Got that out the way. Give me a bag, baby. No, so, the halftime performance was nuts. I mean, it was crazy. The energy is different. Like I did Summerfest earlier this year. That was a big stage, but it was open space. You know what I'm saying? 7,000. Gotcha, yeah. It was like 7,000 plus people at the stage. Cool. It was dope. Like that was dope. But arena, that's just a different feeling.
Like the energy
everybody's
stays in there.
Yeah, that's just in there. So I had been in the I was in the back, and I don't want to say the locker room because I wasn't in the locker room. I was in one of them rooms. I was in the green room or whatever.
Green room, yeah.
So I'm in the green room listening to music like I do, a little pre-ritual. I hadn't been back on the court since sound check. So they bring us out for like the first quarter promo thing or whatever. And we come out there and it's just like, you can feel the energy in that space. Like it's different. Walking through the tunnel, it starts to get a little warmer. You hear everything, and this is like, I don't know, all of my senses were lit up. And this is like before performing. So I'm out there at the end of the tunnel just looking around. I'm like, okay, man, I can do this. It's nothing. All right, 17,000, cool. All right, it's easy. Then it's time for the performance. And I don't know, when I perform, I love performing because for me, that's a high. That's an out-of-body experience for me. Like, me performing I'm a whole nother motherfucker. I go from Billy Bates to Shazam when I'm performing. I'm new. So in the moment it was wild because I'm rapping my lyrics, but at the same time there's a voice in my head like, oh damn, you doing this. It's like, you doing this. And there's another voice in my head like, don't fuck up. But I'm like, I got this, cuz chill. But I mean, as soon as I got off stage, I mean, the first thing I said was, I want to go on tour. Like, I want to go on stadium tour. It's like, I can do this 80 nights in a row. This is money. But yeah, the Bucks thing was crazy. If you've never been to a show of mine, what to expect is a memory. Like, you will never see me and not remember me if you see me perform. My performances are very high energy, but at the same time, very intimate. Like, even in a room full of 7,000 people or even 7 people, I personally think I can speak to everyone individually. And I'm for sure gonna at least point and rap to 3 people's girlfriends. So it's bound to happen. Get ready for it. But no, and then they're really intimate sessions for me like this because I always take time in the show to share some type of gem or some piece of me with people that isn't as prevalent when you're listening to the music. Because I'm a little cryptic when I make my music. I like to share myself, but I try not to be too descriptive. But when I'm at performances and shows, I'll just break it all the way down. Like, hey, look, this is what we going through. This is what we dealing with. I know some of y'all can relate, but I also know that we can get through this shit together. So you could have been anywhere, but you're here with me. I don't know why, but thanks. But yeah, so I mean, my shows are experiences for sure.
So with that, where do you see rap or like hip hop culture in Milwaukee going? And like, what are some of your favorite and maybe not so favorite things about like the whole scene here?
Yeah. Milwaukee is on a good trajectory right now. It's growing. It's building. It's a lot more cooperative than when I got into the game. And that's what I love the most about it. I love how open everybody is to working with each other, communicating, and just being supportive of each other. Because I feel like it's a part of my class, but also the class that's coming up underneath us. They really see the potential, and they understand that it takes unity in the city in order for that city to become something. And a lot of the folks from here are Milwaukee natives. I'm not a Milwaukee native, but it's still home for me. But at the same time, I don't hold it as dear to me as everybody else who lives here. Like, y'all are raised and born here. Y'all have a certain investment in this city. Like, this city has to be something more for y'all. And that's the same thing with the class of artists that I'm with or that I see coming up. Like, they understand that Milwaukee can be something bigger. Like, they see it. They see the changes that are happening downtown, and that reflects the music. Like, they see the gentrification. So they're like, if y'all gonna force the city to grow, then we as a culture also need to grow as well. So that's one of my favorite things about it. Like, the art scene recognizes it. I mean, we all know that art is used as a mirror for what's going on in society. So that's what everybody's doing right now. They're growing. They're growing. They're open to the growth, and they're open to the communication. My least favorite thing is the lack of business etiquette. I understand that the expectations for this smaller market have to be realistic, but there are still standards that need to be set. And I like to think I set some of those standards, and if not, I'm trying to. But I also feel like there's a bottom line that has to be like lived up to. Like, there's a certain point that you gotta be able to just respect any and everything mutually across the board, whether you agree with it or not. Like, there has to be a code of conduct in the way that we operate within the business here. I feel like there's a real lack of business etiquette in the music scene. And yeah, I'll just leave it at the music scene. We ain't gonna go farther than that. Yeah,
that's for another podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's not throwing shade on anybody or anything like that. It's just that I see where we need to grow at, and that's where we need to grow the most. This city and its artists are so eager to be in the industry, but don't have the slightest clue of what we need or what it takes to be in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's hard. I mean, especially not like nowadays they see like, oh shit, someone on SoundCloud that just got fucking huge, like out of nowhere. And they see like that movement going, but like we also got to be realistic of like that kid, yeah, it could have been 2 months of his career started, right? And like out of nowhere, just someone just thought you look funny, throw him up there, you know, whatever. But like at the same time, it's like if you can build to that model, or you could also start learning from people. Like I feel like we don't take the time to learn from people first. And that kind of comes to like being a little patient in that moment, you know, like I feel like we got to learn a little bit to be like, oh shit, see, not the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is kind of like smoke and mirrors, you know, like the industry is kind of weird, but also like, you know, just learn, like be like, yo, there's more than just like I rap and I get a paycheck, like
that's really what it comes down to. I think for me, it's like, and I ask people this all the time before they record with me for the first time. I'm like, do you really want to do this? Because that's really what it comes down to. Do you really want to do this? And if you really want to do this, do you know what this is, what this entails? This isn't going to the studio and performing. Those are the good parts. Those are the easy parts. That's not what this is. Like, this is waking up at 9 in the morning and coming to do interviews and press runs. This is going on tour and making sure everybody's taken care of and fed and safe. Like, this is spending your last money on that license for that beat instead of paying your cell phone bill. Like, this is the ugly shit. Y'all just see the glitz and glamour. So that's why I really asked folks, like, are you sure you really want to do this? And a lot of people don't really want to do this. They just want what they think it feels like or what it looks like. It's like, but you don't really want the grime and the glam. That's why you don't really know what goes into it. And that's why we have that lack of business etiquette, business knowledge, and then just overall just need to know, really. But we're in the position where if you really want to do this, you can figure it out. Or you can ask people like me who are still figuring it out. If I don't know it, I'm gonna figure it out. Because I had mentors and I had OGs, but a lot of folks that I was around and look up to didn't give me game the same way that I give game to other people. Like, niggas wasn't handing out the cheat codes. I'll give you the cheat codes. You just gotta really want them.
Right.
And you gotta ask me. I'm not gonna just, all right, you wanna know how to do this? All right, come on. That's my time you wasting.
Right.
You gotta really want this shit.
And I feel like now too is like cheat codes are everywhere. Yeah. Now it's not even a matter about finding.
It's not even hard to find. You just gotta put in the work.
It's just like exactly. It's like, do you really want? You say you really want it. It comes down. Are you gonna put in the work? Do you want it? Because bro, you could Google the cheat codes now.
They're there. I honestly believe, like, let's say we got 100. We got a pool of. We're gonna stick with rappers. We got a pool of rappers. This can apply to anything, but we have a pool of rappers. Out of that 100% pool, I honestly believe 95% of the folks don't want it. They don't really want it. They just want what comes with it, or they want what it looks and feels like in the moments that they've shared with other people.
Right.
And then out of that 5% that's left, only 3% are really gonna put the work in. And then out of the folks putting the work in, they either evolve and become something else, or they just stop. And then you got that 1%, because it's always the 1%. And you got that 1% that pushes through no matter what, and then they're good. I'm that 1%. I can't do anything else. I will die. I will literally die. I can't do anything else. Somebody was like, imagine life without music. I didn't. Everything went black.
Yeah.
I would literally die. I will never go work another job in my life again. What was I doing? Like a month ago, I played with the idea of filling out a job application. I was like, let me go fill out a job application, see what that's like. I got a headache, like a migraine, before I even went to the computer. I was like, let me see if I can still get a job. I got a migraine. It just doesn't click for me anymore. Because I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is it. I die without this.
That's dope.
Yeah.
From like traveling, performing, the Bucks show, Summerfest, just everything you're kind of ingrained with Milwaukee and the music culture here. What's your most memorable experience with, the years of rapping and just being in the music industry?
So much shit. Damn. I don't know. I'm probably always gonna go back to the first house tour in 2016, the tour to Colorado, because it was just such a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience. We're just gonna call it that. The best part was it was like 15 of us, and everybody got along great, which is rare. You rarely can travel anywhere with more than 3 people, and it's good vibes the entire time.
Yeah.
But it was good energy the entire time. The little hiccups and problems we did have, everybody dealt with in a positive manner. But I learned a lot just as far as me as an artist, but also me as like a boss or a CEO or somebody in a position of leadership, like the things that I could have done better, the mistakes that I made personally, and what I need to do going forward. And I went broke on that shit. Like, I'm still paying back them loans, but
that's funny.
It was definitely worth it. I don't regret it. I'd do it again. I'd have more money, but I'd do it again.
Yeah.
So that was that's probably the best memory.
It's funny. So you mentioned it previously. You just mentioned it, right? How like music will always be a part of you, but like you want to be like a CEO, like you want to be that person in the future.
I don't want to rap forever.
Right. So what are you currently working on then? Like, is putting those stepping stones in place for you to like go? Yeah, what's in the future for you?
I feel like I spent the last 5 years perfecting my art. So now it's, all right, let's perfect the business and really come to terms with what we want to be outside of a creative. because all I've known is creativity. But at the same time, I grew up around business and entrepreneurship. Like, my mom was running a daycare in our house while going to college, while in the military. My grandma was been selling Avon since before I was born. So it's like the entrepreneurial spirit is in me, and for me, it's just a matter of what that is and what that looks like. I'm gonna be a mogul. It's definitely gonna be entertainment in there, of course, but I also think through the success I have, I want to just be able to finance other people's dreams. I want to be an incubator. I want to be able to give young minorities and young creatives money to fulfill their dreams in ways that I couldn't at their age. Like, everybody needs a budget, so I kind of want to be the creative bank. But at the same time, I want to own real estate and property, but not just to like own franchises for the fuck of it, but in order to really make money, of course, but also make a change. Like, have a couple businesses that's making maybe a couple $100,000 or a couple million a year, but then we're doing enough in profit that I can go buy a warehouse or some shit and turn that into a shelter or a living home for children in need or creatives that are traveling. Like, there's just so many different things I want to do. I try not to throw too much focus on them because I know it'll take me out of what I need to do right now. But I got a general idea of what I want to be. I want to be like the better version of Lex Luthor. Have my hands in everything. Who knows?
That's dope.
Definitely not politics, though.
Man, I don't know.
I'm good.
You're not running for president?
Fuck no. And it's crazy because when I was in middle school, I was voted most likely to be president.
Really?
Great, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then high school, I was voted most likely to be famous. So we see where that's going. Be the president of a fan club or some shit. But president of the United States?
You could be the president of your...
Hell no. That job is stressful. Barack went black to gray in 2 years. I'm good, bro. I already barely got a hairline. Straight. I'm going to go in there like Tory and walk out like The Rock. I'm all right.
So before we move to our segment of questions.
Oh, shit.
Is there anything you would like to add from what we talked about? Anything you missed?
I'm the GOAT. Period.
In case you didn't know.
In case you ain't, bitch, I'm the GOAT. In case you ain't know. What I want to add? I live by a mantra. I got it tattooed on me. And boom. It's just know self, love self, trust self. So I try to share that as much as possible. So, viewers, if you're watching this, turn this up very loud. Know yourself. Figure out who you are as a person inside and out. Take some time to figure you out. If you're in between a relationship, give yourself a little more time to heal. I used to jump through relationships like a fucking kangaroo at a circus, bro. I was like, maybe somebody will love me, but it takes time. You gotta heal and clear yourself of that energy. But know yourself, know who you are, good, bad, horrendous, know what you're willing to change, but then also figure out what you're not going to change and be able to live with that. 2, what is it? Know yourself. Yeah, love yourself. I try to make sure I do it in order. Yeah. Love whoever it is that you discover and come to terms with. It's not to say that you're going to be that person forever, but love who you are right now because you have to live with who you are right now. So be able to look yourself in the mirror and be okay with that. And then last, just trust yourself. I wish I trusted myself a lot younger. Like, I wish I followed my intuition on a bunch of shit when I was younger, but that's also a part of growing and learning and becoming a person. So know yourself, love yourself, trust yourself. Although I'm sorry if I got too loud. So yeah, all right. We had questions?
Yes.
I'm a freak, baby. No.
Jump to the last one, huh?
No, let's do it.
What advice would you give to someone going into their last year of high school, college, and don't know what their next move is going to be?
Going into their last year of high school?
Yeah, they're about to graduate. That's what I mean.
They're about to graduate high school?
Yep.
Don't go to college.
What if it's their last year of college?
If it's your last year of college, start paying off your loans. But as far as your last year of college, start paying off your loans now. Now.
wait.
I dropped out and I still got to pay them. I dropped out early enough to where it's not a big ass amount that's gonna hurt me forever, but I still got to pay that shit. So start paying your loans now. As far as high schoolers go, don't go to college. Don't go to college. If you don't know what you want to do, which none of us do, travel. I say take a year off and travel. Work a job. I'm not telling you to go to fucking Japan or backpack around Europe, but travel. Go somewhere you haven't been. Travel with friends. Travel by yourself. You can take a bus to the next city or take a plane across the United States. Just travel and figure shit out. We are in such a rush to live life the old way that we fuck ourselves up. I wish I never would have went to college. I regret going to college because the only shit I learned was at MATC, and I took music business there. But everything I learned in that class, I already figured out before I got there. It was already shit I was learning on my own because I had the passion to figure it out. So if you're not going to school for anything that requires a license to perform it, don't go to college because you can get into that field. I say don't go to college, bro. If you're not going to be a doctor in some type of law enforcement, medicine, or education, don't go to school. If you have to go to college, go to a community college. Put your pride aside. You're going to get the same experience, bro. You're going to save a lot of fucking money, and you're still going to see the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely regret going to college. It was like the worst shit I've ever done in life, but yeah. So yeah, be like me, drop out. Don't drop out in your last year of college though. That's just dumb.
Yeah,
finish that shit.
Yeah, finish. Might as well.
You're not Drake. Finish that shit.
All right.
I dropped out when I was like a sophomore, so I'm good. But yeah.
So what's the best advice you've gotten, and where did it come from?
The best advice I've gotten?
Yeah.
It's always from two consistent sources. So from DJ Willie Shakes, when I was like 15 or 16, he scooped me up from the east side and we were riding around town and he was just putting me on game. He told me, he said, there's two things you need to remember in life. He said, one, respect the DJ. As an artist, you need them more than they need you. They're going to be the reason you ever be anything. Respect the DJ. And then two, he told me, if you want to do anything, write it down on paper. If you don't write it down, that means you don't care about that shit and it's not going to happen. The second piece of advice that I got, and I always live by, Gerald Walker told me, he said, keep saying thank you. He said, you're such a thankful person, and that's going to get you a lot further than anything else will. People remember when you're grateful to them. So keep saying thank you whenever people help you out. The third best piece of advice I've ever gotten is from my mom. She's like, what's the worst they're gonna say? I used to be scared of asking people for things or doing things because, like everybody else, I don't like rejection.
Right.
We don't like to be put in positions to where we can't get the things that we want because we want them. But my mom used to tell me, you want something done, do it, try it. You need to know something or you want to ask somebody something, ask them. What's the worst thing they could say? Is no. So I take that and I applied it into do any and everything. Like, do the scary shit for sure, but try any and every opportunity that comes across you because that's the best way to live life.
Yeah. The 10th advice you got.
You said what?
The 10th advice you got.
10th advice. This is all on me, badge tattooed up.
Hold on.
If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be and where would you take him? And where would you take him?
This is hard. I knew this question was coming, but I didn't. I can only think of one person right now, and it's wild. I would take my first love, like the first girl I ever fell in love with. I would take her out to dinner. Where we would go, probably some taco joint. I don't know, probably a taco truck or some shit. I would take her out because we went through so much shit together at such a young age, and we had to figure a lot of things out together within the time period that we had together, and it really changed and shaped both of our lives, but especially mine. Like, I tell her all the time, because of the shit that we went through, she saved my life. Like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing today without the things that we went through together and a lot of the sacrifices that she made personally. So I would take her out because I owe a lot of what I do to her. So
that's dope.
Yeah. You know who you are, Shorty. I hope you see this.
Shout out.
Gang.
All right, man. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. So you obviously know the show. It's called Ordinary Freaks, and that's up to your interpretation of that word. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you? How much of a freak are you, and why?
Okay. I'm never ordinary at all. How weird I am, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably an 8. I come off as a cool guy, but it's all a persona. I like Star Wars and shit like that. Lord of the Rings. I'm really a nerd, like deep down inside. Like, I remember being in high school one day in Alabama, and I was down there like, you know, new state, new me, fuck it. I was down there as the badass from Milwaukee and shit. But I'm down there, I'm chilling in class. My work's done. I'm in the corner and I'm reading. They're like, hey, hold the fuck up. You read? So, yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm a solid 8. As a weird, as a freak, I'm a 10. I'm all in regardless. Whatever freak is going to be, I'm it, baby. So, yeah, I mean, as the freaky weird nerd dude, as the freak I need to be for my shawty, shout out, bae. I'm weird, bro. I'm nothing close to ordinary, but yeah. Gang.
Dope.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Well, thank you, B. Thank you, Renji, again.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you guys for watching.
Before we go get Sins, man. Stories I never shared.
Sorry.
That's out everywhere. Oh, no, you good. I got to be the rapper and shit.
No, I actually fucked up. Before we let you go, where can people find you?
You can't find me nowhere.
These streets.
Fuck y'all. Nah.
His number will be in the description. I'm just kidding.
His address will be in the description.
Right.
Drop the pin.
I'm everywhere, any and all social media platforms except for Tumblr and Snapchat, because fuck that shit. But I'm everywhere. Genesis Renji, GenesisRenji. One more time for the folks in the back. GenesisRenji. You can also use that same name to find my music on any and all platforms, including SoundCloud, even though they don't fucking pay me. Go get Sins, Stories I Never Shared, out now.
Watch the trailer. It's amazing.
The trailer is nuts. It's on my Facebook page, Genesis Renji Music. It's also on my YouTube channel. The green light video is out now. Shout out to Lucian Parker. I don't know what video we're doing next, but you're going to fucking love it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to my boys, Ordinary Freaks. I support any and everything y'all do. Gang. I love you, Bianca.
Thank you.
Shout out, sis.
Peace.
Bitches. Obama's still my president.
Hey, yo, Obama's still our president.
Obama's still my president.
Fuck that shit.